We only have a certain amount of time. But that's, how does that feel playing with? Right? So you need to know that, I mean, out front they're saying, ooh, Bobby sounds great. What's going on is, Dennis is enabling him to sound great. I mean, it's all support. It's like a basketball team. You know, you have the ball, you don't steal it from your own guy. Hey, look over there, you take it from him. You know, we don't do that. But that's only, you know, someone who really knows is going to say, wow, the drummer's really allowing that to happen, and the bass is supporting it nicely. And thereby, nobody's doing all that. But now you get on the drums, and let's hear you do it. So what you need to do is, I guess, know your strategy. What are you going to do to play a riff? See when Dennis went to the close hi-hat? That just brought it down to like, oh, you know where to do. So that's where you want to go. And try and make him sound loud. Just do whatever you can, and okay? Same spot, whatever. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, cool. So, how does that feel? A lot better, because he can create now. So to create at up tempos, nobody really, unless you do it, you don't realize how much a volume issue enables you or disables you, right? So, no, you don't stay there the whole time. You go after it when you have to, but when you go there, that's what people aren't expecting you guys to do. If you guys can play that volume and make it happen, people go, wow, that's really mature. And it's easy. It's just an awareness thing, but good, right?
So before it goes up, and then it slowly, gradually goes up. It doesn't just like, okay? What I notice is like when people are playing music, and especially bands, when you guys are looking at the notes and you're playing everything, it's that you're aware of where you are, but I want you guys to start thinking about where you're going, okay? So for example, and this is something that's really crucial with the rhythm section that we're talking about. If, for example, it's starting off kind of soft, but you know in 4 bars, it's going to be really, really big. What needs to happen, instead of like either staying in one place, so it's like it's loud here, you guys are playing a dynamic, and when they come in loud, it's the same dynamic. If you think about you're here, but now, since you know it's going to get louder 4 bars later, you start to build it up a little bit to where when they come in, it feels natural for them to come in. Okay? When we were just playing, you know what I was listening for? I wasn't thinking so much about what I'm doing. The first thing I just realized is that the piano is soft, so I have to come down. People always think about, like when they talk about Basie, how the rhythm section would make these great dynamic leaps. The reality was they were all great musicians, but they were just really just playing music, and that if somebody's playing soft, I should get softer. And the whole thing with the hi-hat, that's just a technique that one of the drummers, Joe Jones, came up with, saying, well, if I do this, it's quiet. You know also who I was really listening to? He got a great beat, great time. I can hear where the changes are. It's like when you guys are all listening to each other and playing together to where you know musically it makes some sense. This is important. I noticed all throughout your performance when you guys were playing, you all knew where you were, you all played the right stuff, but sometimes it was hard to know, is this the shout chorus or is this a solo, because I didn't hear this. So just think of an airplane. You don't want to be on an airplane where it's like, okay, we're going to land. It's really a drag to be on those kind of flights. Good pilots always know, okay, let's just... So the other thing I want to really commend you guys on, and this is something that I always say, we're in like a post-big band age. You really, well done. You guys are playing something you said there's no recording of. That's hard, and I'm going to say you guys did a great job just of that alone. It's something that you might not even think of. If you were to take somebody who had no idea about music at all and just give them the record, you say, well, you just sing along with this, even if they couldn't play at all, they could probably start to mimic what they heard. But to have to play and interpret a piece of music that you've never heard before, now that takes some chops. And with this thing, what I'm checking out, and the one thing that I'd like you guys to do, I just want to hear the ensemble play the intro up until letter A, okay? We're going to do it a little bit slower.